2020 definitely wasn't easy for me. It was hard for me to write, and I wanted to share with you because coming to Celebrate Recovery has been amazing for me, and I feel like I really found my place here, and I feel it's important to share my story and for you to get to know me better. So I started off with a scripture because I was looking for courage, and God showed me this. May He give you the power to accomplish all good things that your faith prompts you to do. 2 Thessalonians 1:11. And so it begins. As a child, I grew up in two very different worlds. My father was a violent alcoholic who sexually abused me and allowed his friends to do the same. I witnessed physical violence and animal cruelty, and his family suffered extreme poverty. I didn't get along with my step-siblings, and when I was a preteen, I finally got the courage to say I was not going to allow the abuse to continue. I stopped visiting my father, but I did carry that secret out of fear for my life. My mother was remarried, and we had a loving home. As an upper-class family, we went to church every Sunday, participated in extracurricular activities, took family vacations, and had everything that we wanted. I had high expectations to live up to and never seemed to make it, always resulting in disappointment to my parents. I was a promiscuous teenager and began rebelling as soon as I faced consequences. I went to church every Sunday and participated in mission trips, so I would often pray and talk to God. I didn't want to do things His way. I wanted to do them my way. I held resentment and anger towards my mother and towards God for not protecting me as a child. I isolated myself, having just one girlfriend and partying with numerous guys. I put myself in so many dangerous situations. It's only by the grace of God that I made it through alive. As mad as I was at God, I remember always crying out to Him and praying for protection when I was in danger, and He never failed me. I always managed to get home safely. Because of my poor choices, my parents had me leave home at 15, and I was told I could never return. They did not want me influencing my younger brother and sister. With God, I managed to graduate high school and obtain my associate's degree, and I did that while I was living in my car and dropping out of school, getting back into school, and just living in random places. Throughout my adult life, I went from relationship to relationship. Most of them were abusive. I stayed with each man for a few years. I was always the one providing everything. I gave them all I had, and they would take it, offering nothing in return. I lived with my boyfriend Adam and our newborn baby, and had custody of my oldest daughter and shared custody of my two younger children. He was abusive to us and very controlling. Thank God the three older children weren't home on August 19th, 2010, because Adam took my son's life. Only God knows what happened, but my children were removed from my care. I could not protect them. For the longest time, I cursed God and hated Him for my loss. But now I see my responsibility. I really am guilty. I didn't protect my kids. He had to take them away. I was selfish, seeking love from men in all the wrong places, when I should have been looking for Him. If he didn't take my son, Adam could have killed my whole family. It's horrific but true. I saw no way out. My son saved my life, and Jesus saved me. And as much as it hurts to be away from my children, I know that they are loved. I can't put them in dangerous situations like that. I was wrong. He was sentenced 25 to 50 years in prison. It has been 6. The Supreme Court ruled that he didn't get a fair trial. November 14th, I will be returning to Michigan to redo the murder trial all over again. But I'm trying to see the good in this, the healing. I will get to see my children, and I will be a stronger witness this time. I'm trusting God. Immediately, I replaced Adam with another man. This one had a drug problem. My rights were terminated to my 2 younger children, and they returned my oldest child. She was out of control and diagnosed with oppositional defiant disorder. She was punching me and swearing and had no fear of consequences. The police were called to our house regularly, and I didn't want her. I wanted my family back, her brother and sister. We couldn't even eat a normal dinner. It just wasn't the same. She was acting out, my boyfriend was always high, and I just lost it. Eventually, I started dabbling into drugs. He convinced me to start dancing at a gentleman's club at night. He would sit there taking my money and spending it on other women and drugs. So by the end of the night, I went through all of that humiliation just to be broke and sober and end up fighting with him. I did that for 2 months and was so depressed. I would leave my daughter at home sleeping at night, and then I would have to be back to my normal routine in the morning where I held a professional job. The day I got news that I lost the appeal to my 2 younger children is when I decided impulsively that I was leaving Michigan. If God wasn't going to give me all of my children, then I didn't want any of them. I planned to leave my daughter behind. I told my boyfriend that I was done with drugs and I needed sunshine and a new start. I did have faith, believe it or not, but very little. I just knew it would be okay if I could get to Florida. I had enough money to last for a little while. We weren't supposed to stop in Tampa, but he was dope sick. So much for changing our way of life. I met my abuser, the human trafficker, as soon as I got here. He was our drug dealer. We spent $10,000 and sold our car in a week and a half. My boyfriend and I parted ways. I followed my abuser because he had me hooked. It wasn't just the drugs, he was intelligent. I was falling in love with him. We even had deep conversations about God. He offered false promises, safety and security. I remembered sitting on a slab of cement on Nebraska Avenue, wondering if I had in fact died and gone to hell. It seemed as though I was in a world where God could not hear any cries. I was shut out. Was it too late? That was the beginning, the day I was told to find my own lane. And when he realized I didn't know the game, well, the horror that comes next, I'm going to spare you. I do know that God was with me through it all, because the very first day in the motel room where I met him, he was talking to a girl and she heard my voice and recognized I was from up north. She made a call to Created, a ministry that helps women get out of the sex industry, and told them my name. Months later, when I would reach out for help, they would know who I am and have already been praying for me and searching for me. I also had met one of their outreach staff on the street about a week after I arrived and saw her frequently while I was out there. She always showed up at the right time, like an angel. I went through severe beatings and rapes and robberies out there, and Created was bold. I remember the founder of the program pulling up while I was being dragged and telling him to let me go and let me go to her house, and we made cupcakes for her daughter. He actually let me go. Another time I was pregnant and I was assaulted and thrown out of a moving vehicle into a neighborhood in Ybor City, and I had no idea where I was. I was dirty, I had lost my phone, and I was withdrawing, so I was really shaky. A woman witnessed what happened and helped me up. She led me to a home, and I felt really embarrassed. I couldn't believe it when I recognized the face that came to the door. It was Created staff. It was like God had just placed me at their doorstep. Unfortunately, I had to go back to my abuser because created said they didn't take pregnant women. I continued to get away from my abuser, but I would return because I felt like he loved me. On March 15th, 2015, I gave birth to my daughter high on cocaine. I barely made it to the hospital to have her, and I felt so much guilt and remember crying out to God and feeling so alone in that hospital room after having her. I wanted to stop but couldn't. She was a miracle, healthy and beautiful. I didn't deserve her. I knew they would take her away, and I didn't have any fight in me. I was very depressed. God placed her in foster care with a family that was involved with Created. I showed up at Eckerd to visit my daughter, and I was asking for help. I mentioned the Created program and asked if they could help me get in, and they started mocking me, saying they had never heard of such a thing. When suddenly the foster mother walked in the room and spoke up for me. She told them all about the program and gave them phone numbers. Her family also had a foundation called No More for Human Trafficking. Within the next day, Created called back and offered to take me into their residential program. This was all Jesus. I had to wait several days and continue getting high. The caseworker came to the apartment and showed me pictures of my daughter on his phone. And he was saying things like, "What's the matter with you? Don't you want to fight for your beautiful daughter?" I had been laying there waiting for my drug dealer to get there, and instead God sent him. My daughter was going to be adopted by the foster family, and I ended up signing my rights off to my daughter at the last minute, thinking that her father and I would be together as a happy family. I did that for him. Once again, I put the man first. She was returned to him, and he did not wait for me. He got married, and his wife will not allow me to have anything to do with my daughter. They changed her name. God knows what he is doing. She is loved and well cared for. My daughter may not have been adopted, but I have been. This family has become very close friends of mine. I recently received pictures of my daughter and learned her name. And I will continue to pray that her father and his wife have a change of heart and allow me to be a part of her life. I am blessed to be able to have a close relationship with my 15-year-old daughter. She loves me so much, gives me the hard truth, but also forgives and loves unconditionally. That is truly amazing. As for the human trafficking, I'm moving forward to have my record expunged, and that is leading to a possible investigation for my abuser. Hopefully, he will be off the streets, done hurting other women. It was also amazing to see how God protected me while I was walking through the neighborhood over the past couple of months. He has been in custody and will remain there while I'm in the Created program. I just happened to look up his information, and now I don't have to worry. Of course, I have been praying all along. The biggest blessing is to be able to relate to others. It touches my heart when I see others in the same situations I was in, and they are searching for a way out. I can be a light for others now. I can reach out and offer a helping hand. I can let Jesus use me however he sees fit. I'm very passionate about domestic violence, especially when there are children involved. I'm not sure what I'm called to do yet, but until then,